Welcome back to the Blue Review. Greg Bergman, the big CY, who is on his way to LAX and getting out of town. The Blue Review is also presented by LAX, Los Angeles International Airport, where changes are arriving daily to help reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the travel experience.
The reason why I'm headed to LAX, as I do often, is that I'm going to DC to do something that is a symposium called Before Jackie. Jackie Robinson, obviously legendary player, Dodgers legend, UCLA legend, Los Angeles, California legend, and it's going to be at the National Archives. I'm very excited about it. We're going to discuss what the world was like, Greg, before Jackie got to the big leagues. People sort of act like as soon as that happened, that everything sort of was made okay. That's not really the case. Jackie Robinson Day just happened earlier. Greg, I don't want to put you on the spot, but when you think about Jackie Robinson to yourself, what do you think about?
I mean, I think about what he did for the sport. Oh, he obviously was the first African-American Black player in major leagues, and what he just did he was everything. He was a track star. He was a baseball star. Played football. He did everything. He was just such an amazing human being, and especially at UCLA, who I'm kind of partial to, so that helps in that sense too. But I just think about the greatness of everything that he's done. But what you're talking about is interesting because it wasn't always great. It wasn't great before, and it really wasn't great after. And he went through a lot just to get to where he was.
There's a museum about him in New York. If you want to check out something about that, you can check out my work on ESPN.com about that. But speaking of Jackie, a guy that played a bunch of different sports in a bunch of different places, there is, of course, one Marcus Lynn Betts, a fantastic athlete around a lot of different places. People who don't know, he was an infielder coming up. His move to the outfield was something that happened at the professional level. And there was talk of him, Greg, playing shortstop. Now, he's played a couple innings at second base. He used to take infield at second base routinely before games. It was kind of like an Easter egg for those of you who knew about Mookie. But the thought of him starting at shortstop, that's a lot, sir. What do you think?
I think there's a lot that kind of plays into all this. He's Mookie Betts. He can do whatever he wants, and he's going to get whatever he wants because he's arguably the best player on the team. But I don't understand the move. He is a Gold Glove right fielder who has an amazing arm from the outfield, and he's not, as young as he once was. The possibility of getting injured is much higher being in the infield than it is in the outfield. And what I'm not understanding about this is, if you're putting him at shortstop, if you're actually going to start him at shortstop at some point, you have to do this over. Like, why? What's the point? Why are you actually doing it? Is it just for a game? Is it just to get through a couple games? Is he actually going to be the shortstop every day? I think those kind of questions change a lot for it. I would prefer him to stay either. I don't mind him playing second every once in a while. Shortstop is such a busy position, and it takes a lot. I see your face. You don't agree with me. I would like to see him stay in right field.
Answer me one question, Greg.
Yeah.
Why? Like, what if he's the best shortstop on the team? Like, what if that just happens to be the case? Like, even if that ceiling is not as high as you think it needs to be for this team to be, God knows what, World Series. Like, what if Mookie Betts is just playing the best shortstop on the team? Like, what's holding us back from giving that a rip? Tell me.
He very well could be. He could be the best player at every position. He's that good at everything that he does. He's an amazing athlete. He's a great bowler. He's a great basketball player, football player. He does everything. Yeah. But he's also a Gold Glove right fielder who nothing gets by him in right field. And he is fantastic out there. And the possibility of him getting injured is much less being in right field than at shortstop.
Listen, I was a guy all
the time.
I was an infielder. I love playing on the dirt. Mookie came up on the dirt. I don't love guys getting moves to the outfield just because. I'm not saying that it's a bad idea to have him in right field, obviously, but it could be a better idea. You just never know. And if this is the team that we're dealing with, a 500 team right now, I mean, what are we talking about here? Mix it up. I don't mind this at all. If it happens, ever, I don't mind it.
So, okay, let's say that if he is the best shortstop on the team. Are you giving him the everyday shortstop position at that point? If that's the role that he gets, then maybe.
I'll say it this way. I'd let him play it whenever he wants. If it works, I'd let him play it whenever he wants. if it works.
And let's say a dude comes barreling into second base and he's trying to turn a double play and he gets flipped on his ass.
That's baseball, man. It could happen to anybody, bro. Why do you think
that
that's
doesn't happen in
worse
right
for
field
Mookie than it is for somebody else? I don't get it.
because he's the best player on the team and you need him to be healthy. So if that happens, it doesn't happen in right field. He's going to be much safer out there, especially with, again, a 500 team like you're talking about.
So you want to protect his bat. You want to protect his bat by not putting him in harm's way on the field. I get that. But
I want to protect him.
Right. But that's not, but I mean, because the fielding you get might be as good as what you get in right field, plus or minus, but the bat is what's the problem if you can't play, But my point is that ultimately, if the guy's the best player at the position for what you have on your roster, what are we talking about here? Right fielders are replaceable. Shortstop or not. And that's the question we got to figure out. So last thing we're going to get to is something that is from the, let's just say, game ops side of the operation, which is that the Dodgers are doing a new thing this year, Greg, where they're cutting the lights off every time a home team yam goes out, but they're doing it in a way that seems kind of dangerous. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. So I really noticed it more so. Max Muncy hit a home run the other night, and the lights, so he hits this deep home run. It was a home run. The lights go off before the ball lands. And that it does seem a little bit dangerous. At first, I was like, oh, that's cool for the whole ambiance, and he gets you into the field, the flow of the game, and it's really cool being there, and it looks great on TV. You might get hit in the face when that happens.
I mean, in the face might be the best place. You might get hit in the neck. You might get hit in the junk. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, the ball is flying all over the place. Keep the lights on until the ball lands, gang. We need this for public safety efforts. I get it. It's a great bit. You want to turn the lights out? Sure. Ghost, Sleepy Hollow, mystery, running around the bags. That's fine. But we cannot have people getting drilled because the house lights go down in the middle of a homer. That is not what we're trying to do. Please.
Well, think about it too. Like, all these guys are jumping and diving for a ball because they know it's coming their way, and all of a sudden the lights shut off. People are banging heads against each other, and worse, it might land in your beer. You might lose your beer.
Have you ever done a beer chug when a ball landed in your beer? Have you ever even been somewhere?
No.
I haven't.
No. What is that? So like the ball lands and you have to chug the beer.
If a ball lands in your beer, you have to chug the beer with the ball in the beer. That's like a thing.
That's the rules.
Those are the only. This is the way, if you will.
This is the way. Yeah. Last episode coming up tonight. Mandalorian, I got you. All right, that'll do it for Blue Review. Clinton's getting out of here. He's going to LAX as soon as we're done with this, and we'll see you again tomorrow. See you.